And you
Mm.
may never forgive them, but that doesn't necessarily mean that you're living in this place of anger and hurt or, all of those things. You moved on. I just don't deal with this person. And I think people also think because you don't deal with somebody that you got some beef with them. And that's not
Mm.
necessarily the case. You just choose to protect yourself from that person. And it doesn't mean it comes from a place of unforgiveness either.
I want to go to this
Okay.
word that we talked about the other day, and we both
Uh,
agreed that it's so overused.
it's very overused.
Let's talk about narcissism, narcissist.
Uh,
What you said something very powerful on your platform about my generation, millennials and Gen Zs
mhm.
specifically, that overuse is. What is your take on the way it's being used?
To nauseum, number one. And I don't think half the time I don't think people even understand the true definition of what narcissism means or the true characteristics. It's a term that they heard over and over on social media, posts and clips and content, and then they may go to a therapist and that therapist may say the same thing as well. But I always say narcissism, just because those people have characteristics that are not becoming to you, that doesn't necessarily mean they're narcissists by a clinical terminology. And none of us are psychologists, so we're not here to actually diagnose that person from a clinical perspective, because there's different stages and different levels of narcissism. I believe people are selfish. I believe people are self-centered. I believe people only have their best interests at heart. I believe people are manipulators and liars, and there's so many characteristics don't necessarily fit into narcissism, but the word has been constantly regurgitated
Yeah,
so much over the last couple of years, especially in the therapy culture, that it, it has no true meaning behind it just because your parent showed up in a way that you didn't like.
absolutely. Definitely taking the power out of the actual definition. And
Absolutely.
let's go to this part here. So
Okay.
we from two diametrically opposed situations, because especially
Hmm.
in our culture, we both black. I'm black.
Yeah.
I know you black. I can see it. No, I'm
Black
just
and black, black, black.
kidding. So we come from the
Power to
black.
the people, black. Mhm.
So we come from the black community through and through.
Yeah.
We know this dynamic of mother and son is
Ooh.
it's like tethered more than anything in history.
Hmm.
So for both of us to have this estranged relationship, you with your son, me with my mother, what do you think this type of dynamic says to our community?
First of all, it's weird to me that I'm seeing so much of this. And to be honest, Mel, I'm